Come here now, girl.
Hello and welcome to What's Map, your one-stop shop for everything workshop. I'm BonBonB and you're very, very welcome. Right, it's Tuesday's request day. Today's map's requested by Mr. And, well, it's a part of the world that we very seldom do reviews of, mostly because there aren't actually that many maps of this part of the world. In fact, nearly 900 shows in, I can only remember one, maybe two maps of this from this particular country, so yeah, not that many at all. The creator, however, has made a whole bunch of them, so if you get on with this map, maybe one of their other maps might be to your liking too. But it does have a serious flaw, and we will get to that a little bit later on. But once you know the flaw, well, you can fix the map real easy, can't you? And that has to be a good thing, yeah? That's right, hitting that like button really does support the channel, gets me seen by more people, and helps me grow a little bit more every single day, so thank you for your support. Today's map is Rishikesh, India by MasTaaN. MasTaaN? Yeah, I'm going to go with that, I think. Something like that. Anyways, we have got a start square that looks like this. We've definitely got some river in there, haven't we? Oh, lovely. Real realistic vibe to the rivers going on today. The terrain heights clearly are from a terrain party style map, and very good. Very good. Large build plane to go there as well. Then we have got your resources are bold and strong and lots of fertile as well. And then off to the workshop. What do we need? Well, a quick glance tells us we need nothing. There's a bit of a description, but that has to be good, yeah? Yeah. Okay. Right, so prepare yourselves. Oh, we're using the vanilla temperate theme and the realistic 1.2 LUT because, well, we pretty much always do. If never mind, let's roll on. The roads, 2-lane highways. Let's think about this. 2-lane highways is basically either mass transit or network extensions too, yeah? Well, if it's mass transit, well, that's not listed, and network extensions too is not listed. If you really want to know, these are network extensions to roads. It's not listed as a requirement. It may be the only thing that's missing from the requirements list. I literally have not checked this map. Yesterday's map had so many items, I couldn't face checking this one. Bridge is really low to the water. Maybe it's wet season. That would make a bit of sense with this particular map today, actually. But we are very, very low. Very low. I'll be tempted just to push it up a little bit. But the argument could well be it's definitely rainy season. And that river would swell. There's the part of India that we're in. We're quite a long way up north. What we see there, these mountains, or the hills and mountains, this is kind of like the beginning of the Himalayas, I do believe. I'm not a specialist on the area, and people are going to say, no, these are the Oopsie Daisy Mountains, and then you've got something else, the mountains, and then you've got the... Yeah. But from the plains, this is where the hillier bits come. This is where India started crashing into Asia with the continental drift and all that sort of stuff, and this is crumpled up from that. So what we've got here is Indian continent meeting the Asian continent. Right. So, anyways, long story short, anyway, about the roads is no matter which way you look at this, if you're playing vanilla and only subscribing to the minimum because you've got a potato of a system like two kilobytes of RAM. Kilobytes, yeah, that's right. 2 kilobytes of RAM and a folded up piece of paper is your computer. Well, yeah, you're not going to have this. You can spend 20 minutes waiting for the map to load, and you will have no road, which is not a thing that we particularly want. Anyway, moving along. Well, I do love the hills, though. The hill stroke mountains in this map have got a real vibe to it. And when we get into those hills, if you have a look at the tree placement, some time has been spent up there avoiding the cliff faces. Anywhere where it's steep, where it's mudded, you can see that the trees have only been placed on the green bits. And while I don't mind them on the muddy bits, I prefer it sort of like tapered or just minimised, so you can just see that some effort has been made. And, well, there's definitely a lot of effort being made with the hills and mountains on this map. Then we have another 4 lanes coming into 2 at the bridge. Why not? No, I'm okay with that. And the bridge looks a little bit stretched out, but again, at least this is high enough. I'm okay with that. And now we're into the start square. This is your junction. It's not an intersection because, well, it's kind of like that in real life. And we've also got in the start square an asset. And, well, surrounded by the water, I figured a water tower would be a good idea. And it's by DieHardHunter. DieHardHunter are a great creator. They've produced so much stuff. Don't think they were expecting any of their stuff to be placed into India, though, but that's what we've got. And Factoids because Factoids. Alexander Graham Bell, the inventor of the telephone, was born on this day, the 3rd of March in 1824. That's just before 6:30, I believe. Though he was responsible for the invention of one of the most important communication systems of the modern era, neither his mother nor his wife would ever have used a telephone. Unlike women, really, isn't it? Eh? Yeah. Because, ironically, they were both, speak clearly, both deaf. They were deaf. They could not hear. Oh, there you go. Anyways, the water... Probably what the hell are you doing there, Alexander? I don't know. Anyway, water tower by DieHardHunter. Today's asset of the day. Yeah, you see. No. It's a communications device for... why? What? Hey? Anyways, let's follow the road. We're down to National Road now. I'm guessing this network extension's 2. It might be mass transit. I didn't check this bit. I should have done, but I didn't. All I know is the other bit was definitely network extensions 2. So looking at the colour of the lines, I think it might be mass transit, you know. I've got those markings are not very vibrant. The network extensions 2 lines are quite sharp, and the mass transit ones are quite faded. So I'm thinking we've got mass transit here, you know. I might be wrong. Doesn't matter either way because, well, it does actually, because yeah, you can go and get yourself network extensions 2 and you still have a map that's broken. If I'm wrong. So let's just say it's not a plain vanilla road, and so you're going to need something. I'm sorry, I failed you guys. I failed. I'll sit in the corner. Let me just move into the corner. Hang on. Right, I'm in the corner now. I don't know if you can still hear me. Yeah, so anyway, this road goes off into the mountains. If we pull back, you'll see the blue mantle, but that is only from a great distance. So if you're looking for screenshots, I'll move closer to the mic. Sorry about that. Yeah, and so yes, if you want distant screenshots where it's been cut into those cuttings, you're going to get a hint of blue mantle going on. The rail isn't too bad. It's not perfect, it's not great, but considering where we are in the world, it'll be a bit lumpy and bumpy, as we are going through some of the poorest areas of the continent, I do believe. We have got here the slight elevation on the bridge, but it's not too bad again. I'm believing this. I'm not believing this, though. That, again, it might be rainy season, but I don't think that's a thing. Whether the trains can keep running through it, maybe we'll catch a train up. If there's a train, then we'll know that the rail line is actually working. So yes, I had a little look at the map because I'm not au fait, although I have family from India, going back a couple of generations. Look, there's a train. It is working. But yes, although I've got family from the subcontinent, I've never been. So yeah, I used a little bit of Googling and found Rishikesh, and yeah, it did look quite ramshackle in places. I mean, there's some modernish shops there, and it looks like it might be a great place to live. But it is pretty much what you'd expect from central northern India, away from the coasts, away from the big megacities, which of course have their own issues as well. Got a little bit of blue mantle underneath this bridge there. That's a little bit forced there. Of course, I do have a tutorial on how to get rid of blue mantle and the bridge. There's 3 different options. You'll need to Google that one because have a little search through my playlist, tutorial playlist. You'll find it in there because I'm not including that one in today's show. We'll be having a look at this map has some water issues. Not the worst. It's not the worst. I quite like the water. I do like the fact that what we have today is the Ganges, the infamous Ganges, one of the most famous rivers in the world, one of the most holy rivers in the world as well, for that matter. So yes, and we're right at the top. We're not near the source, but we're where the Ganges sort of like reaches the plains. And so yes, I'm expecting it to be sprawling, and where you see the sandy part of the Ganges in this particular map, it is like that. It does look at, I mean, obviously a bit more flair, but you can see an effort has been made to recreate. But it is breaking its banks in places, and so I figured a water physics tutorial today would be the matter of the day. Meanwhile, we're just heading back down. We've gone towards Rishikesh. That's the town was up by well, you saw where the start square was, wasn't it? Yeah, that's where the town was, or would have been. And there are a few other settlements and towns sort of dotted all over because, well, it's a big, busy place, is India. Even in the densest parts, you'll find somebody doing something, fixing a shoe or training an elephant. I don't know. I'm just making that up. Anyways, Rishikesh, India by MasTaaN. What we'll do is we will take an intermission and we'll come back and have a look at the shipping. Do you think? Take your bets now. Will there be shipping on this map?
Are you struggling with water physics in the game? Are you constantly drowning and flooding your soggy little sins? Then you need the Beginner's Guide to Water Physics by BonBonB. Click the information button now.
Right, back to Rishikesh, oh heck, India by MasTaaN. No, there's no shipping routes. Well done, absolutely well done. Clever, clever, clever. Very proud of you. And I genuinely am. Many a lesser creator would have put shipping. Okay, we have water flow, and the water flow comes down off the mountains, which means we have natural water flow. There's no actual top-up water either. It's what is coming off of the main water sources. Some of you will be happy with that. Some of you will wish there was a bit more, because it's a little bit stop-start, especially on this river. A little bit there, fades out, right there. And I have let the map settle down, and it's not sorting itself out. Then we have this river. It's really wide here. There's good water flow through there, you can tell though. Very good water flow past the start square. And then this is wide, and there, very, very wide. And it's an untamed river, the Ganges. Bless them. Bless them indeed. So anyways, we have got lots of rivers, lots of floodplain, lots of areas that could be reclaimed. This lumpy bumpy area here, again, you can get the smoothing tool over that and do some building on that quite happily. And then we're down to the start square here. The actual town extends a little bit out. Let me just sort of like draw that in with the cursor. So actually there's town built into that area there. So you might want to do some draining. Consider it as gameplay. I'm all for a bit of drain this area gameplay, building up some water solutions. Speaking of solutions, we've got trees in solution there. Up to their neck in solution, I tell you. And then if we go up, again, you could argue this is wet season. But then I would argue if it's wet season, why have we got stop-start water? That doesn't look like wet season to me. So I'm going to put that down as being just bad water physics in this particular map. And where the bridges were too low previously, I'm just going to call that bad map making rather than actual flooding. But what do I know? What do I know? I've never been. It might be exactly like that. Now, let's have a look at the terrain lines. I just want to show you the depth of the river here, where it could be a bit of a problem. Quite deep down here. It's good. Good water flow through here. Again, about 20 meters deep there. Still good. Then it comes down here. It gets wide here. But watch what happens there. It just stops. That's an 18 meter stop. And yes, the water's got to go somewhere. And it's going everywhere. So a little bit of control on the riverbanks would be, and the riverbed would definitely be an improvement. Let's have a look at these mountains, because I think these are the centerpiece, the stunning part. Look at the tree work. Look at the tree work. It's not. It looks randomly done, but it's not entirely randomly done. They've taken the trees off of those cliffs, and it just looks believable, and I'm all for that. Anyway, what do you think of this map? Anyway, is it a 1-star map? Is it a 5-star map? Is it somewhere in between? Your vote really does count. We use it at the end of the month for the Viewers' Choice Top 10. Will this be one of the top 10 maps of the month? Only you can decide. What do I think? It's very early, but I doubt it. But prove me wrong. Okay, aesthetically, it looks like what it's supposed to look like. It's very vanilla. It could do with a custom theme. It could do with a better LUT. It could do with some custom trees. It could do with cleaner riverbanks. But it still looks like what it's supposed to look like. I'm giving it 3 stars. It's fine. Detailing. It needs a bit of work. There's some effort being put in, and I appreciate the effort's been put in, but it's still not quite there. So I've got to give it 2 stars for detail. Just a little bit more work will be up to 3 quite happily. Gameplay potential. Yeah, it would be playable. It would be a 3-star map for gameplay quite happily for what you're building. But missing asset, broken map. 1 star. I hate doing it, but I've got to say it. Save you the effort. Rishikesh, India by MasTaaN. Yes, with that information, if you've got mass transit and network extensions too, and MasTaaN transit is a guess, you'll be able to run that map very happily indeed. And there might be some more stuff missing off of the loading screen report, but I'm not checking now. It's late. I want to go to bed. Anyway, thanks for watching, for commenting, for liking, and for subscribing, for joining me for another map in the What's Map series. Don't forget, we do have project cards from last night over on BonBonB too. Do check that out. And I've got 2 new series starting over on that channel from next week. Don't miss it.